Ready. All right. Welcome, one and all. We are live. I'm doing an audio check. I have a new microphone. Is everybody hearing me okay? And how's the level for me and Alex? Want to make sure we're not too loud, not too soft. Audio and visual check. And we will be starting very shortly.
Yeah.
I am joined today by Alex.
Hi, gang.
Welcome, Alex. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Hell if I know, hear you okay. All right. So we are here today to watch the classic, the first, the best Carrie version, the original from 1976. This is one of my personal favorites. And I have been a Stephen King fan for decades. So this will be fantastic. We should be all queued up right at the beginning, right before the MGM logo, probably at the 0 mark for all of you,
Mhm.
I'm guessing. It's about an hour and 38-minute movie, short and
Yeah.
sweet, and full of a lot of good stuff. Um, So yes, Edward the Black Prince. I don't think there's any other version. I don't think we have any director's cut or extended versions. This is the theatrical version, and it's one of the best. So, Alex, would you like to count us down, and we'll get this party started?
Absolutely. Presuming everyone's queued up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay, we should be.
Oh, let me check my volume.
Oh,
So we're
there's
not.
your lion. All right, and I've got the timer up there in the corner, queued up. All right. Um,
And
right
that's
on.
that's a
So
UA logo I haven't seen.
that is a really old one. I believe it's one of the originals.
One of the early ones, yeah.
Yes, Brian De Palma. This is a classic De Palma film, and we could talk about his work and his style of filmmaking. Um, but first, let me do a roll call as this movie gets going, and we are introduced to Carrie White, played by Sissy Spacek. All right, joining us on YouTube, we have Hell if I know, Eric, Miss Swift, Edward the Black Prince, Calbot, Mad Matt. Who else? Who else? Okay, we got YouTube covered over on Discord. Who do we have over on Discord? We have Calbot, we have Mr. Furzel, we have Eric. I'll probably be bouncing over there occasionally. Let's see, Mr. Furzel, Miss Swift. All right. Okay, so Alex, did you actually see this in the movie theater, or was this before your time?
This was before my time. I'm an 80s baby. And yeah, actually, the first time I watched this was I actually seen all of this. Like, I know bits of this, but was yesterday on my pre-watch to make sure the copy I had wasn't crap. Um, but it, I've seen a bunch of other De Palma stuff, so I could see stuff he would end up. Some of his style is clearly here, and this is clearly a '70s movie running through a ladies' locker room. Um,
Yep. Yep. As Hell if I know is pointing out, it's eye candy, boys. Oh yeah. Um, yes.
Yes,
So,
Edward the Black Prince, '70s casual nudity.
yep. And I mean, total frontal.
Mm-hmm.
And it was shot very casually. And
Mm-hmm.
these actresses knew going in, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it's just part of the movie as we're introduced.
Yep.
Um, and what's interesting is this scene is already setting Carrie apart from the other girls. She's the last one showering. We
Mm-hmm.
saw her on the volleyball court, not very coordinated, not thinking very highly of herself. You can just tell. We all knew people like that in school. Some of us were like that in school.
Mm-hmm.
And we found high school very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But more than likely in high school, you would have found me reading a Stephen King book. That's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So this, I haven't seen this in the. Did anybody see this in the movie theater? I'm very curious because it did come out. What, almost 450 years ago? Is it
Go,
50
go,
years already?
going on 50 years. Because 75, Jaws
Wow.
was 50, so it's just 3 years late. 1 year, no, wait. Yeah, 1 year later. So it's going to be 50 years old next year.
Yep. Um, so chances are, even if we were of that era, we were way too young to see this. I would have been way too young.
Uh,
Um,
yeah.
so this
Yeah.
is,
They're sneaking into movie theaters, and then there's bad parenting.
and then they're sneaking into stuff that you know you shouldn't be sneaking into, because this would have been very traumatic for a kid way too young to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But we are introduced now to what all of us now know is a very normal part of puberty,
Mm-hmm.
but she is, we're getting a glimpse into her life. She is acting like she's dying.
Yep.
um, One of the things that I was watching yesterday, there's a lot of behind the scene interviews, and Sissy Spacek got her motivation for this scene from her husband, who was also the art director.
Mm.
And he had been hit by a car, a truck,
Ah.
and he has experience with that. And he told her, your motivation for this, with that terror that she is showing, is pretend that you're getting hit by a truck. Like, pretend like you're dying, like you think you're dying. So, and the girls are not helping matters. This is very traumatizing. So we are off to a bang up start here. Um, and real
But
quick, over in Discord, Mr. Furzel,
yeah.
um, a young Edie McClurg, yes, she plays a minor role in this movie, but you can
Mm-hmm.
totally tell that, yeah, Mr. Furzel, a young Edie McClurg was shaped by these experiences as she became
Mm-hmm.
a school secretary years later at Ferris Bueller. Yep. Um,
And like you got to wonder, like with you know the age these kids are supposed to be playing, and it's like, okay, sure you're being dicks about it,
yeah.
but only so many days in a month. Not to be blunt,
Yep.
could be you next week.
Yep.
But then also it's like they're just reacting to there being blood and she's losing her mind. But I'm like, how old is the Carrie character again?
So,
And what's is her biology messed up? Is her we know her mother's messed up?
yes.
So
It's interesting because this interaction makes me think they're freshmen, and this is the
okay,
reaction a
yeah,
freshman would have. But we find out later in the movie they're seniors. They're all seniors, and
and that makes you just think you're just
Mean
being
Girls.
you're just being jerks.
And they're doing it because of who they've already shown themselves to be in the very first scene, who they are
Yep,
with Carrie.
yep.
That Carrie has already been ostracized. She's
Mm-hmm.
already the outcast.
Mm-hmm.
The filming that De Palma does with
Set.
Carrie right now sitting also
Yep.
accentuates the close up.
Mm-hmm.
It's focusing on her, but she's the outcast. Um, yes,
Yeah.
and hell if I know that they are probably at least in their 20s in this picture. Yes.
Oh yeah, easy.
By this time, they're all mid, early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Spacek was 26. She was already married. Betty Buckley, who is Rita, I have a card here. There's so many stars. We got to keep their names straight. Um, Betty Buckley was close to 30, so she was just a
Mm-hmm.
few years older than these girls. Um,
The
Amy Irving, I
the
believe,
early
was
and long history of casting 20s and 30-year-olds playing high school students because that's who's getting out of acting school.
Yeah. Um, and at this point, Betty Buckley is the most well known of these stars.
Mm-hmm.
The hell if I know. Excellent point. King must have been sadistically bullied in school because his high school characters are the most brutal and evil characters he ever writes. Absolutely. He based this character of Carrie on, I think, a couple of girls that he knew in school.
Mm-hmm.
This whole novel was almost trashed, for a better word. He
Mm-hmm.
actually threw the first pages away because he didn't feel like he could write a female character like this, because the
Mm-hmm.
movie does focus on female characters.
Yeah, and he gets into that in his book called On Writing, where it's
Yes.
quasi
Um,
autobiographical, but quasi, learn how to string a sentence together, you idiots.
yeah, and learn how to
And
actually write.
he goes into where he was at when he was writing this, with a young family, next to no money, doing this job, that job, this job, that job,
Yeah.
getting short stories published, and then he throws out basically throws out almost the, like I said, the first couple pages of Carrie, wants to throw out the first draft. His wife picks it up saying, "No, there's something here. Finish it."
Yep.
And then
Yep.
he submits it to his agent when he goes out to publishers, forgets about it, completely forgets about it. Rejection letter, rejection letter, rejection letter. Then I don't know whoever at first gave him the publishing. Like, I think it might have been direct to paperback, but it was like, here's $150,000, which in the
Oh
1975 was
yeah.
like, we're in the money, hurrah! So
Oh, that
it's
was
like
a
we can
lot.
we can get out of the trailer or the apartment wherever they were, we can buy a house.
Yep. Exactly. And this was the start of his career because
Mm-hmm.
his wife pulled it out of the trash and saw potential, and saw the writing potential, and she helped develop these characters. Um,
Yeah, because he didn't have
yes,
the
Jalapeno
female
says
girl
looks like
perspective.
Haddonfield. It does. Um, Piper Laurie was actually, yeah, she was well known at this point too. I believe she was doing theater. I think she had done a few films at this point. She, oh God, what's a good phrase? She embraced this character and went for it 110%. And she gave her all to this character. We are introduced now to, oh gosh, what's a good word for this? The seriousness with which Carrie's mother takes her beliefs,
Yeah.
how passionate she is. Um, and there's no denying that people like this exist to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know what? Thank you, Edward the Black Prince, a fanatic. Um,
Yeah.
to the point where she's part of the reason why her daughter is the way she is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's nothing wrong with your religion. There's nothing wrong with your belief system. Um, if show of hands, anybody that hasn't seen this movie, if this is your first time seeing it, we still have a lot to talk about, but we don't have to, get into spoilers or give anything away because this story really develops over time. Um, Very telling as she's going to her house that there's a for sale sign next door.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else notice that? That we're now getting a glimpse that, oh, it must be maybe her fault that maybe there's a for sale sign next door.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Um, but
And I'm
yeah, if
trying
there's anybody that hasn't seen it, let me know.
I'm trying to remember when they did Castle Rock. I think it was Castle Rock that in the greater Stephen King verse TV show from a couple of years ago. Had like
Mhm.
two
Oh yeah,
seasons.
I remember that.
I know they did like the prison down the road with Shawshank and
Hmm.
a couple different things, but I couldn't remember if they did any direct Carrie references in that show. I don't want to go into spoilers for
Um,
this movie, but of the stuff that you
Good
would have
question.
referenced, why wouldn't you have referenced this?
Other than casting Sissy Spacek as the
Yeah,
mom,
yeah.
maybe that had something to do with it, or did
Mhm.
they maybe use some of the character names from this movie?
They might have used the. Yeah, I haven't watched that show in a
Maybe.
few years, but I know they made a big point to say Sissy SpaceX on the show. She is
Mhm.
not playing Carrie.
No, she is a very different character in Castle Rock.
Hmm.
Matt is saying this is probably my first time actually watching it. I know all the lore and pop culture references. Yeah,
I was the same way, Mad Matt. Where like, well, I know the
yeah.
beats of this, and I know certain people are in this, but I had until yesterday hadn't really watched it all the way through.
Um, this is a pivotal scene because now we see her mom, her mom's fanaticism
Hmm.
and cruelty.
Hmm.
No girl wants to hear this from her mom. No kid wants to hear this from their parent as their body is going through the natural change that it will inevitably go through. Nobody
Hmm.
wants to hear this. Um, and to think that Carrie White had been hearing this her whole life, it's it actually takes a lot of guts for her at this point to be standing up to her mom,
Hmm.
knowing what's coming. So she's showing a little bit of strength.
Hmm.
And if you notice in that scene before when she was riding her, she was walking home and she knocked that kid off her bike, that she is aware of this other ability that she has too, but she's got it under control, so to speak. So she's not using it at school. She hasn't used her gift against anybody at school yet.
Hmm.
Yes, hell if I know. Fanaticism driven by personal trauma. Her mother could not handle being left by her husband. Yes, and that was a part of the book that they did go into detail on. And it's been a long time since I read the book, but they did go into detail about what happened to her mom and kind of why she went from just a normal believer into a fanatic loon, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, poor Carrie is, yeah, is now stuck in a closet.
Hmm.
Um, that Jesus statue, is that just haunting as anything with the eyes? That
Yeah.
is, that has got to be a purposeful art direction
Hmm.
that they, because statues like that don't normally have lighting behind the eyes, so there must have been something to make it not just religious but off and creepy.
Yeah. The extra arrows help too.
Yeah,
It's
so we
like,
put the extra arrows.
well, it's like, okay, well, I'm not remotely religious, but I have a vague idea, some vague recollection of what the various stigmata were. I'm like, well, he
Mm,
was pierced in the side by a Roman spear. So the stories go. He was
right,
not pierced by about six different arrows in different parts of his body. So
right.
did Carrie do that to the crucifix? Did her mom do that to the crucifix?
That
I
is
don't
a
know.
very good question. Yeah, but that's not a normal crucifix that you would see
No.
anywhere.
And is
Um,
that, you know, painting of Jesus up on, just the wall behind her or what? Is that on,
yes, I
is that,
believe it's, yeah.
and that's her messing with the mirror. There we go.
Yep, yep. And so it's, I wonder at this point if her mom had any clue
Ah, good to know,
as
Calbot.
Um, oh, okay. Thank you. Calbot says the statue is actually of Saint Sebastian, not Jesus.
Then
Thank
the
you.
arrows make more sense,
Okay.
I presume.
Or Edward the Black Prince was saying it's crackhead Jesus.
God.
So, but that does make more sense. So yeah, I I can't remember if it is addressed in the novel whether the mom at any point has suspected that Carrie had those abilities because she would have certainly questioned any, the mirror, anything, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Matt, thank you. Okay, I was 10 years old when this was released. I don't recall any warnings or be forbidden to see this, even though the 70s was heavy with films about children with demonic powers like Exorcism, Omen, etc. Yes, that is true. This movie came out late 70s. Um, and fun fact, the casting for this movie literally took place
At
at
the
the exact
same
same
time.
time in the exact same room as Star Wars.
Yep.
And
Lucas and De Palma were needing to cast
yes,
movies at the same time, and they said it's going to be a cattle call anyway, so
yep.
bring them all in.
So I'll take some, you take, what I don't want.
No, and they all
Um,
they all cross casted, like they all
mhm.
cross read. Like if you're coming in for this, you might as well read for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why
Um,
William Catt read for both,
yep. And
and there's footage of
he
him
read
reading for
for
both.
Skywalker, I believe.
He did opposite Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford was
Yep.
his reader.
Yep. And I believe there's video out there somewhere of Amy Irving, her
I think so.
audition for Princess Leia.
Yeah, it's all on YouTube, and there's Cindy Williams and a few other
Mm-hmm.
people. I don't think Sissy Spacek read for her, but she probably
Mm-mm.
did. Haven't found that footage anywhere, but yeah, it's all on the DVD, the Blu-ray, YouTube at this point.
Yep. Yep. Nancy Allen. Um, I think she came in on the last day of auditions. And
Something
I
like
don't
that.
recall
Yeah,
her specifically auditioning for Star Wars. I think she specifically auditioned for this one.
yeah, pretty sure.
Okay, so this is a very sweet movie. In the movie, William Catt plays Tommy Ross,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't appear to be a dickhead in this.
No,
Surprising. Teenage boy, not a dickhead, but
yeah,
he seems like a genuinely nice person.
the very '70s curly blonde, not quite shaggy hair.
Yep. Yep. So Mad and Calbot both posted gifs of him as he was in The Greatest American Hero.
Yes, he was.
Yep, and he had the same
And
blonde curly hair.
now I've
Um,
got George Costanza's answering machine in my head.
uh, oh, okay? So what is that reference?
He did his answering machine, believe it or not, George isn't at home, to the theme from that TV show.
Greatest American Hero. Believe it or not,
Yeah,
I'm walking on air.
yeah, believe it or not, George isn't at home. Leave a message at the beep.
Oh, how funny! And there we go. Another scene with Edie McClurg,
Mm-hmm.
and there's Nancy Allen, the mean girl
And oh, what's her name?
in the
Stalker.
movie.
No, Stalker Channing wasn't in this, is she?
No.
Okay, I know she was Grease. Okay.
Yeah, we have PJ Souls who came into the audition with that red hat, and they told her to come back. You got the part, but keep the hat on.
Oh, PJ, see, seeing her face, I'm gonna go like I've seen her in half a dozen other things I couldn't name you
Mhm.
right now.
Yep, she was in Halloween.
Yeah,
Um, quick, anybody else remember what else she was in?
I'm thinking like of like '80s stuff, and
Yes, I believe her career did carry on into the 80s. Um,
she wasn't
yeah,
in
Mr.
Dress to
Furzo.
Kill. That was
Nancy
Nancy
sure
Allen.
likes her chewing gum. Yes, in RoboCop, she was also a gum chewer.
And not so much in Dress to Kill.
And no. Oh, thank you. Mad Matt, PJ Souls was in Stripes.
Yes,
That
okay, that's what I was trying to think of.
she was one of the MPs with
Bill Murray and Friends.
yes. Oh, what is that actress's name? Sean, who was the other MP?
Oh,
Oh, I can't remember.
the Blade Runner.
Yes. What is her name? I'm drawing a blank. So, well, anyway, these mean girls are getting what's coming to them. Um, at least Carrie has someone in her car. Sean Young, thank you, Mad Matt. It was driving me crazy. Sean Young.
Yes, my brain went Sean Cassidy. Nope, nope, not wrong gender.
Um,
But yeah, Sean Young.
Sean Young. Yep. So, fun fact about this scene: Amy Irving and Betty Buckley, who are about, I think, 5 years apart in age, they would drive to the set together. I guess they lived within the vicinity of each other. There's a scene later on that Amy Irving's character, let's Sue Snell, where she was supposed to cry. And she says that she's really good at crying on command. So De Palma just had to say, okay, you have to cry in this scene. But what De Palma did was have Betty Buckley, because they had become friends at this point. Betty Buckley was standing behind camera, insulting Amy Irving and
Oh,
saying anything that she has to get her to cry. And so that's how she ended up crying, because she was really affected by what Betty Buckley was saying. Go
mm-hmm.
figure.
Those are very 70s gym socks.
Very 70s. This is classic 70s. Betty Buckley has always struck me as an actress who looks much older than she actually is. She carries herself as an older person. And every time you
Well,
see her on Broadway in any of her television um, appearances, she
she's
always just seems
cast
older.
older. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
same thing happened to Angela Lansbury. Going back to like Gaslight,
Oh wow.
where she was cast as someone like 10 years older than she was. And then you go into some other stuff she did, and it's like, wait a minute, she was how old when she was playing Jessica Fletcher? How old is Jessica Fletcher supposed to be?
I
Oh, and then that's why it's
70.
like, oh, that's why it's like Angela Lansbury was how old again? She wasn't dead yet? No, you just think she's older than she is.
Yep. Yeah, some actors just they have that appearance, and some look much younger than they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's like Steve Martin. His hair went white in his 30s. He ran with it.
yeah, and he's probably now in his 80s, and he could still pass for. Well, he looked 60 when he was in his 30s. With that hair.
Yeah.
Um, Sissy Spacek
Mm-hmm.
has always appeared younger than she actually is. She was 26, 27 in
Yeah.
this movie, but she really could pass for a teenager the way she carries herself,
Mm-hmm.
and shows herself on screen. We have a lot of these shots.
The split
The,
diopter
the close
shots,
up,
where the
and
foreground background are both in focus.
exactly. De Palma loves to do that.
And honestly, I'd rather watch this than too many movies recently where it's the foreground's in focus, rack focus, where your brain goes haywire, background focus, and then they pull back and forth, where they jump cut back and forth. It's like, no, no, set the camera up, have your
Yeah.
focus plane, and move the actors within it. It's not that
Yeah.
hard. Like, don't
No, it's
cheat
not.
and use a focus zoom. Like, that's cheap.
Uh, yeah. Pivotal scene. She's tossed
Hmm.
out of the prom, and that does not bode well by the mean girls when you take away what
Hmm.
they want.
Hmm. And this thing she was using, boys and girls, is the Dewey Decimal System to find a book.
Who remembers that? Who remembers going into the library? Who remembers having to go to the library to do research? And you would have to learn that. And I remember we would have a library class. You would have to go into the library and they would teach you that system.
Yep. It's like, here's the card catalog.
Yep.
Write down the information on the card. Do not take the card out of the drawer.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you have to write it on a
I
little
will
piece of
find you.
paper.
I will you if you move the card out of the door.
Yeah. Oh, Edward the Black Prince says me, so he remembers it. Yep.
Hmm.
Mad Matt remembers card catalogs. Edward the Black Prince need to bring the slapping back in school. Can you imagine? You know, some people just, should I say it out loud? I mean, we all know what we're thinking. And
Oh,
I'm thinking, yeah,
some people deserve it.
some people deserve it. Yes.
I'm not saying do
Um,
it. They might very well deserve it, but
you might feel like it. Yeah, there's people that I feel like slapping that I would never. Oh, a good slap.
yeah. In the words of the late Robin Williams, remember, boys and girls, we use these words in a sentence.
Mad Matt got a paddling in school. I remember paddling in grade school. I remember that.
Well, happily, I didn't. We were more
Yep.
evolved by the time I was in school, I guess.
And here we have our first appearance by John Travolta, who
Yep.
at this point had already done Welcome Back Cotter, or
Hmm.
he was in the midst of it because I think Welcome Back Cotter
70 to
was it
78.
was it seven?
It was 75, 78, something like mid late 70s, I want to say.
Yeah, like 75 to 80. So
Something like that,
he
yeah. And he
so
had Grease in
Welcome Back Cotter
between. Yeah.
was his claim to fame,
Hmm.
and there was no denying at this point that he was destined for greatness.
Hmm. And he would go on to work with De Palma again in.
In Blowout.
Yeah. That's a good movie.
Yep, that is a good movie. Yep. And soon he would be doing Saturday Night Fever. Thank you, Johnny Devick. Couple years,
2 years
yes.
later.
2 years later, yes.
Actually, no,
78.
no, the next
Was it
year,
78?
77 next year.
77, 78.
So you pretty much went from this to Saturday Night Fever.
And then the Welcome Back Kotter, I believe, went on for 4 to 5 seasons. And
He
he was
wasn't. He was not in all
noticeably
of them.
absent. He was noticeably
Yeah.
absent the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just wrote his character out of the show, and sometimes they would explain his absence.
Hmm.
Yes, thank you, Miss Swift. Blowout also starred Nancy Allen.
Yes, it did.
As you may or may not know, she did marry Brian De Palma in
Hmm.
'79. She was married to him for a couple years,
Hmm.
and he liked to use the same actors.
Yeah. Well, Christopher Nolan at this point has his stable of actors that are his go-tos.
Yeah. So Tommy and Sue, they're decent people. They're trying to be nice, even though we did see her at the very beginning taunting Carrie.
Yeah. Was that
At
Rockford
least she
Files on that
knew.
TV? Yeah.
It what?
And was that Rockford Files on the TV in the background? I get distracted by weird shit.
I was trying to figure it out what it was. It looked like a Western.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
Sorry,
Um,
you were saying that those two.
oh, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that
What was I
she
saying?
was, even though we saw her being
Oh,
one of the
yes.
mean girls, we're showing that she actually is a nice person and
Yes. And she
great
actually cared
lunatic.
for Carrie. So at least she understood that what she did was wrong.
Hmm.
Yes, Matt, it could have been Gunsmoke. It was some kind of Western. Or Miss Swift is saying it might be Have Gun Will Travel. Yes. Hell if I know, Tommy did stand up for Carrie in English class. Yeah, Tommy was a nice guy. Travolta's character, however, not a nice guy at all. But she is, she's taking it. She's not a nice person either. So this is a very, oh, what's a good word to say? Fucked up relationship. This is a very fucked up relationship. Boys and girls, do not ever get involved in a relationship like this. This is messed up.
Yeah, it's the if you're a dick relationship where I know what
Yep,
I get out of this. What do you get out of this?
exactly. And he slaps her, and yeah, there you go. He slaps her, and she's what? Okay.
There's bits of when he pretends to be Castor Troy in Face Off in this performance.
There you go. Yes.
It's like when
Yep.
John Travolta plays a bad guy, which I don't think he's done many times, which really he probably should. But you know,
Yeah.
he has made his money. He doesn't have to work, and he can do what he wants. So good for him.
Yeah. He's set for life.
Oh yeah, and his wife died, so he's like, I'm going to not work for a while and be a dad. So
Yeah, and I think there's this upper class of actors and actresses that get to pick their own work.
hmm
They work when they want to. They basically pick their projects, but you have to be top tier. And I
yeah, and
believe at this point, maybe
it's
with all, even with all the bad stuff that Travolta's been in, I think he still can pretty much write his own ticket.
oh yeah, and he's been there since, let's say, the mid '90s, but he got there after 20 years of putting the
Mhm.
work in. Damn it! So
And
when you
there's no
say,
way
"Oh
that you get
well,"
to be top tier without paying your dues.
yep,
You don't get there overnight.
yeah,
Um,
and you think, "Oh well," George Clooney got there overnight. No, he didn't. It's like
Anybody remember him from Facts of Life?
I was about to say he was on Facts of Life. He was on this, that, and the other thing, and a bunch of other ones from the early '80s on through. He was
Yep,
on ER, the Ancient ER, which was a one season wonder, barely anything, and he did his bit roles all the way through.
yep.
And what was the interview I saw Denzel Washington do? And for his new movie with Spike Lee, and someone said, you know, when was the last time you auditioned? He says, I don't think I've auditioned since after he won his first Oscar. He says, I don't think I've actually auditioned, and I've just been like offer or done stuff I wanted. And like I remember having to audition all the
Yeah,
time before that.
yep. And you reach
And
that level,
yeah,
and then you kind of, I think at that point you consider yourself you've made it.
I'd like to think so, but there's probably any number of actors with an Oscar under their belt that still have to slog through. It's like
Yeah, that's true.
when's the last time Halle Berry was actively in something?
That's a very good question. I would
Like
have to look up her career on either Wikipedia or IMDb and see what she's been
yeah,
up to.
or who was it? That Mikey Madsen won her Oscar last year. Was it a good performance? Yes. Was it interesting? Yes. Is she still going to have to go out for stuff? Yeah.
Yeah,
She's not going to be offer only that early.
yeah, yeah. Um, Calbot is saying IMDb says the movie they are watching on TV was a Duel at Diablo from 1966. Thank you very much,
Interesting.
Calbot.
Thank you.
And okay, so who else could forget? Calbot posted a GIF of Grease. That was
Hmm.
1979, I
Something like
believe.
that. Yeah.
Yep, I remember that. I must have been 10 or 11. I saw it in the theater like 5 times. Love it.
Never got into Grease myself, but people love it, and good for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Grease had Stockard Channing in it,
Yes.
who was way too old to play a high schooler.
Oh
Yeah,
God, yeah.
she
Well,
didn't pull it off, but yet they kept her in.
Stalker Channing is one of those that has looked older than she is.
Hmm.
So even if
You know
even if
what? Except when she was on The West Wing,
that's because she
she
was
looked.
opposite Martin Sheen, and it
Yep,
worked.
and she looked younger.
Than Martin
Because
Sheen.
I could, yeah. When
Yeah.
I saw her in The West Wing, I thought, isn't she like in her 60s? But she looks
Oh
like she's
no.
in her
Yeah.
50s.
Well, I
So
think she was in her 50s. That would have been like that was like 99 to aught whatever it was, however many seasons that show was. So
yeah,
yeah, Martin Sheen
very
was
interesting.
definitely older than her by a couple of years at least.
Yeah.
Because when she was doing Grease, he was out in the jungle with Coppola doing Apocalypse Now and having a heart attack. So
And yet their careers converged.
mhm.
Go figure.
I'm with you, old Johnny Devick. Face Off was kind of both good and bad. It's one of those 90s actioners, John Woo American movies that turn your brain off and just enjoy it.
Yeah, if you try to analyze it, your brain will explode because there is no analyzing it.
Hmm.
Yes, Mr. Furzel. God bless this teacher. She's a better one than me. um, well, yes, they have written her character very sympathetically. And she is probably the best hope that Carrie had of having any kind of normal high school experience.
Experience. Yeah.
Um, Tommy and Sue here are trying as well. So there are some very supporting people in
Hmm.
Carrie's life. And that's too bad it goes off the rails
Yeah.
because these people really want Carrie to fit in, to be a
Part of
teenager.
things. Yeah.
Yeah,
But then, for a movie called Carrie, she's been off screen for how long now?
exactly.
Like she's
And she
not,
doesn't seem to be
she's
the
in it,
focus,
but
right?
she's part of the ensemble. She's not driving the movie.
You know what? Even though the book is named for her, the story revolves around her, the movie is still called Carrie, so you would think she's the central character. She
She's
is, but
almost not.
it's more than that
Hmm.
because in order to understand Carrie, you have to understand the mom and the
Yeah.
environment that Carrie was raised in.
Hmm.
It's too bad they didn't uh, dive a little deeper into her dad's backstory.
Well,
We
they
kind of hear
didn't have
about it,
time.
but not enough to really understand why the mom is so psycho.
Hmm.
Here, Tommy is still trying to be nice. And I
Hmm.
totally get why Carrie's like, this is not normal. He shouldn't be asking me because it doesn't seem right. Thank you. Okay, Miss Swift says Face Off was definitely better than Broken Arrow.
Yes, I have to agree with that. Broken Arrow was
Okay, so
interesting. Christian
Broken
Slater did
Arrow
some
had
interesting
John Travolta
things.
and Christian Slater, right?
Yeah, yeah,
About the missile.
yeah.
Okay,
The stealing the missile. Yeah,
okay.
um, had some interesting things. Starts with
Well,
a
hell if I
weird
know,
little
saying
boxing match, but
the
Face Off was legitimately better.
Oh boy, that's a good. We could take a mini poll. If anybody has seen both movies, which one do you think is better, Face Off or Broken Arrow? I would have to watch both again to see
Travolta had
because I can't
his
remember.
same '90s haircut in both of those movies. That
It came,
phenomenon, something else he was in, same haircut.
yeah. Um,
Now he just
uh,
has his head shaved, and he doesn't care.
Look Who's Talking. He was in Look Who's Talking. I think right around that time.
One and two.
One and two. Yep.
Hmm.
Okay. Hell if I know. Don't take away Christian Slater's magnum opus from me. Okay.
Hey, Christian Slater with a straight American accent and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yep.
He's like, if Kevin Costner's not going to do it, I'm not going to do it.
Yep. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
And considering their dad was supposed to be Brian Blessed, and that's your accent,
Uh huh.
yeah, no.
No.
It's like you pick up the accent of the people around you when you grow up, and your dad's Brian Blessed. Who did you grow up with?
Yeah. Okay, so we are at the
The pig farm.
slaughterhouse, the pig farm, the slaughterhouse.
So clearly they're
We're at,
in a town that has a high school. That's big enough to have a high school, but they must be near-ish the country because slaughterhouses are not usually an urban environment. So we never know exactly where this school is. Midwest. Okay, well, this just shows John Travolta's a psycho.
you know what? We do actually. I think the book or the movie, it does reference where it takes place, and it's lost on me. Does anybody know?
I'm presuming somewhere in Maine, but I could be wrong.
I think this is Midwest,
Okay, that would be, yeah.
I believe. Although the way that King writes, he writes
Oh, God.
everything from Maine.
Mad Matt, that's just too bloody perfect. I'm sorry.
That was a good one. Yeah, Mad Matt, 4-H clubbers. That's a good one.
Yeah, and here's, nothing wrong with having the Last Supper as your wall hanging, but
It's
it takes a special person to have that.
it's you know what? And having the Last Supper on your wall should not be ominously creepy,
But it is
but
here.
yet De Palma is making this scene
'Cause-
overtly creepy
mhm.
because of
It's
the
like,
tapestry in the back.
yeah.
And they're sitting on either end of this long table.
Hmm. And does that room
Oh.
just not have any lamps in it? Because the lamp behind the mum is on, and yet they're eating in the dark.
And it's basically lit by
The
the
lightning storm
like,
outside.
yeah. Oh, Johnny Devitt, Last Supper, First Prom. Yes. Carrie, I applaud you, Carrie, for trying to stick up for yourself, and talk some sense into your mom.
Okay,
Um,
Calbot, that's an interesting shared universe. I'll go with it.
yeah. You know what? I was thinking that too. Same town as Footloose. The problem is why they banned dancing. Thank you, Calbot. Yes. And Johnny Devitt says activities are so important for the young ones. Absolutely.
Hmm.
You cannot keep teenagers locked in the house no matter how hard we would want to.
Hmm.
Oh, Mr. Furzel. I was going to say that Maine does not have that many pig farms, but then I Googled it and it could be in Maine. Sissy Spacek is just perfect for this role. She is crying out to her mom to be seen, to be heard, to be validated by her mom. And yet she's also telling her mom, I'm going whether you let me go or not. Johnny Devick says homeschooling would save a lot of lives, though.
Yeah.
In retrospect, that might not have been a bad idea. Oh, okay. Mad Matt posted a GIF. That is The Young Ones. That is a British comedy show. I got hooked on it in the infancy of MTV. We have Vivian is in the red hair. Mike is in the yellow overall. No, Mike has the white hat. Um, who is in the yellow overalls? There's Vivian, Mike, and then the tall guy with the long hair. I can't remember. Classic show. If any of you have not seen it yet, see if you can check it out. It is just want to shake your head, and it's just laugh out loud funny. Yeah, Edward the Black Prince. Everything in King is Maine, even if it's not. Yeah. So the mom is going a little overboard. A little, just a tad.
Yeah, I'd have to agree there, Miss Swift. Even if she was homeschooled, I don't think the mom would be following the curriculum.
You think?
And there's a 70s sweater for you. The dude on the left.
Definitely. Over the collared shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Miss Swift, okay, posted a picture. That's Rick. His name just came to me. Rick is in the yellow overalls. Rick, Vivian, Mike, and then I'm drawing a blank on the last name. Okay, I'm going to get sidetracked. So, fun fact that I think I have officially seen the worst movie ever made, bar none. And it was purely by accident. And I don't think it was supposed to be bad. It's a movie, I think, that came out in 2011, and it randomly showed up on my Amazon Prime. And it's called Twixt, Twixt, also known as, so it's got a longer name. The director is Francis Ford Coppola. And
Like
I had high
Godfather
hopes.
Coppola?
Francis Ford Coppola, what could go wrong? But it
Any number
was,
of things, but okay.
if you haven't seen it, I mean, it had Val Kilmer. And I thought, wow, a Val Kilmer movie I haven't seen.
Yeah.
It was beyond bad. It wasn't even good bad. It wasn't even, I couldn't even get through it. It was so disjointed, and it had, it just, I shook my head and I couldn't figure it out. Yes, Johnny Devitt Coppola had lost it. It was
Well,
so,
Kilmer's odd because he'd done right around that time, like 08 to 13ish. He did a couple of smaller bits, like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was probably the last big-ish thing he did. But then right around that 2011, he did what I call the Val Kilmer 50 Cent trilogy, where him and the rapper 50 Cent were in about 3 or 5 movies together. And they're not bad. They're not great, but they're not bad. And it's one of those where I'm like, why is Val Kilmer in this?
have you seen it?
No, not that, but I'm thinking of like 7 other things he did around the same time. And it's like, he's never bad in anything. It's just the movie's not that great. It's like why is Bruce Willis in this? For a guaranteed paycheck.
I wish I had seen Bruce Willis in it. I,
He would have been better than Val Kilmer, you think?
it's what?
He would have been better than Val Kilmer in that part?
It would have added something. I don't know what he was going for. I didn't get the plot. I didn't get any of the dialogue. Why? Why? It wasn't even good enough to be a good bad movie.
Mm.
So, yeah, go figure.
Well, that happens. Like there's,
It
when
happens.
every movie is someone's favorite, but some movies are just, meh. You're just left with meh.
Yeah.
It's like, do I
It,
ever need
no,
to
no,
see? It's like, do I ever need to see this again? No.
no.
If I found it on tape somewhere, I'd probably pick it up for $1. But I don't need to go out and hunt for
Try
this.
watching it. Sure. If it's free, it was free on Amazon. So I figured why
Yeah.
not? But yeah. Um, so what's interesting is you see, so Carrie made her dress. She put makeup on, and so she's really looking forward to this, and she has a lot of confidence, right?
Hmm.
She's talking to her mom like she has all the confidence that everything will be okay. She's finally feeling like what? She's a normal teenager, and her mom
Hmm.
just needs to get on board.
Hmm.
Um, Interesting. Okay, Mr. Furzel says, I wonder if Carrie used glue to put that mirror back into place, or is she using her powers? If she has mastered them enough to feel like she can control them now that she has some confidence. Good point. And that's what I would be asking too. She's confident enough that now she's pushing her mom around.
Hmm.
Um, and maybe she feels like she just has to get through this awkward phase of being a teenager. Maybe she feels like she's not awkward anymore. She fits in, which is exactly what Tommy's motive is, to just let her fit in. His motives are pure, right? But you know what they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Now, and the mother there doesn't seem overly terrified of being telekinetically shoved onto the bed.
Right?
So I'm like, how much of her daughter's powers has she already experienced?
Yep, exactly.
Especially
Oh,
because,
Mad
like, when
Matt used the force, Carrie. Yeah, she's using the force.
pretty much Mark Hamill wouldn't use telekinesis for another couple years.
Interestingly enough, this movie and A New Hope, they
Mhm.
were in principal production right around the same time. So not only was the casting at the same time, they were filming at about the same time. Although because of the delay
The
in
type of movie
post,
that this
yeah,
had much shorter post production time, and it was able to
exactly,
release in '76 and didn't need the push to May '77.
exactly. They didn't need a year for post production in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I just have to keep going back to the cinematography and the way this is shot. It's like movies need to do this again. It's like there's a
Yeah,
slow dolly, but then show the whole picture. Just show the whole, like, you don't need to shoot at 1.8 on your lens every single time. The eyeball and the nose can both be in focus. The entire head can be in focus.
yeah.
Two people in a car can be in focus.
So what is lovelier than a prom? Senior prom. So this is the end of senior year. Um, I wonder. So the girls here would be about 17 or 18, which is late for a girl to go through puberty, although it's not unheard of. Um, and I
Yeah,
wonder if obviously that was built into the story. She started her period later than her friends.
yeah.
Is that because of just who she is? Is it because of an overbearing mom and maybe her life was nothing but stress and um and maybe having her powers all messed up? Well, whatever the case, Carrie's life was not easy.
No.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I feel for her. At this point, she's just hoping that she's over the rough patch. Oh, Johnny
Is this
Devick,
is this
would
end of
be
the
bad.
year or mid year? I
Prom would
don't.
be at the end of the year.
Okay. Well, I don't know from American school year stuff. So.
Mhm. Yeah, proms are usually, if you have graduation in May, then proms are usually a month or two beforehand. Usually. So we have to get the impression that they've already had a whole school year.
Hmm.
Um, and we kind of figure that these kids all went to high school together, all four
Hmm.
years, and they've been mean girls for the whole time. Oh,
Well,
Miss
that's
Collins is
pretty.
chaperoning.
Yeah. You'd think as a menial group, they usually working as a pack. They don't just stay targeted on one individual. They move on to the new people. But eh.
Well, makes you wonder. They probably have picked on Carrie her whole life.
Well, if it's any sort of medium, smallish town, then you
Hmm.
didn't just go to high school together. You went to public
Yeah.
school together. You went to primary school together.
Yes, and the whole town knows your crazy mom, because
Hmm.
remember at the beginning when Sue's mom was on the phone, she
Hmm.
made a reference to Carrie's mom.
Yeah.
And it was like this unspoken, oh yeah, Carrie's mom kind of
Hmm.
thing.
It's like what PTA meetings were there in the past that
Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, that one.
that one. Yep. Oh, and fun fact, the actress who played Sue's mother is actually Amy Irving's mother in real life. And they used that relationship to enhance the scene that's later on in the movie, the
Hmm.
mother-daughter scene. Um, Helifino says Bates High School. How did I miss that? Yeah, it's Bates High School. And yeah, Johnny Devick says would be bad for the trilogy if Marty McFly ended up in this band. Back to the Future, Stephen King existing in the same universe.
Well, that didn't look like Marvin Berry and the Starlighters, but you never know. Could be like the doo-wop groups. They have keep the name but rotate the staff.
Yeah. Oh, so Miss Swift posted a picture of the Fury. Um,
With Kirk
Kirk
Douglas.
Douglas. Oh, early 80s, I want to say, right? The Fury was 1980. Oh,
I
quick
don't know.
search. 1978. And it was also a Brian De Palma film. And I think it also had Amy Irving in it, I believe. Yeah. What was the last movie that De Palma has done? He's still active, isn't he?
No, he's basically retired. Um, and after the first Mission Impossible, which was like 95, 96.
Did he retire?
Yeah, he's pretty much retired. I'd have to pull up his search IMDb here.
Let's see. His last feature was Domino in 2019. I don't
2019?
remember that. 2019, yeah. So that's,
Oh, why is IMDb Pro coming up first, you silly?
huh.
I don't want some dude's list. I just want to know Brian De Palma.
Oh, his IMDb page is long.
Well, I just want his director. So,
Yeah,
Ocean.
Halifino says Domino. Have you seen it? Has anybody seen Domino?
I don't even know what it's about. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
With Nikolai Coster-Waldau. Okay, I'll watch that. I like him. Guy Pearce. Okay, I like that.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Carice Van Houten. So there's at least two Game of Thrones alums in there.
Hmm. Interesting. I wish I had a. I don't even have a pencil. Oh, here we go.
Oh, he did Femme Fatale with Antonio Banderas. Okay, yeah. And he did Mission. I forgot he did Mission to Mars.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, and Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes was good.
Oh,
Speaking of
Nicolas Cage, right?
Nick Cage, yeah.
Hmm.
And then his more forgettable Bonfire of the Vanities with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
will talk about Miss Swift's photo that she posted over in Discord. That is Miami Vice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that speaks to me. That takes me back to the 80s in all its glory.
Is that for Mr. Armani that died? Because didn't he basically
Oh yeah.
costume that show?
Maybe he okay, so Miss Swift posted the actor in the pink shirt appears to be the guy in the blue ruffled shirt placing ballots on the table.
Interesting.
Oh,
That's
I
possible.
wonder.
Body double. I knew we did Scarf and Blowout. Dress to Kill. Okay. Fury.
Oh my gosh, are we okay? So we're an hour and 5 minutes in,
Yeah.
and I mean, this movie is just rolling along. And so we're kind of entering
The final push, the final last bit.
the final act, the final where everything comes together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the ending is quite different from the book,
Oh, yes.
but the movie packs the punch that I think the movie lacks. That this, visually speaking, I think this is the ending that I wish the book had done, but I understand as a storyteller, he had to tell the story that way, which kind of ended Carrie's story a little bit different
Mm-hmm.
than here. Um, but that's strictly a book to movie translation issue that the director said no, or we have to pack a wall up. Otherwise, I don't think visually the book ending would have made it in the movie.
Yeah. Well, and Stephen King's been has not been precious with the you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like no, yeah, I'm getting paid handsomely for the book for the movie rights.
Yeah.
If you screw it up, that's on you.
Yeah.
Like what was it, Dreamcatcher with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Well, interesting concepts. Movie, meh.
Yeah, and I read the book. Generally speaking, I would read the book before watching the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all about how well does the movie translate the book. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even think the book was that engaging.
Oh, probably not.
Um, no. Oh
Well,
yeah.
King also swore off any active involvement in the movies after The Shining was an experience for him. He did not get along with the creative choices that Kubrick made.
Yes, and creative liberties. Um,
Yes, that's where he's like, nope.
yeah. Kubrick basically wrote the script he wanted to make the movie he wanted,
Yep.
that it didn't necessarily have to be
Conform to
taken
the
from
book.
the story of Stephen King.
Hmm.
Um, and that was actually a case where I had seen the movie first and then read the book and
Yep.
couldn't figure out why the book was so different and why the book told such a different story than the movie.
Mm.
Well, Kubrick basically took it and made it his own.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's not the first time that's happened, and it's happened very much since.
yeah,
Like, look at any John Grisham movie from the 90s. It's like, there's elements from the book, but it's not a direct filming of the
yeah.
book because that would just be boring.
But if you're going to take a book and adapt it to the screen,
Hmm.
then you need to keep the guts of it and you need to keep the
Hmm.
soul of it
Yeah.
the same, even if
Yeah.
you have to take some liberties.
Yeah. Which is
Um,
why most of the Michael Crichton and most of the John Grisham's work.
yeah,
It's like, is everything that's in the Jurassic Park book in the movie? Hell no.
nope,
But we still love Jurassic Park.
yeah.
Is most of what's in A Time to Kill in the movie? Pretty much.
Mm, mhm. Yep.
Some of the more violent stuff that happened to the Sandra Bullock character is not on screen.
Right.
Properly
But it was
so.
a good adaptation and it did
It
tell
was
the
an
whole
excellent
story.
It did tell the whole story. It was a good
Yeah.
adaptation. They took story elements from one character and gave them to Matthew McConaughey. And, you know, Matthew McConaughey
Yeah.
has said in interviews he likes to thank John Grisham's wife for okaying him on the role, for giving a thumbs up on the role, because that helped my career.
It really was. I think it was one of his very first
One of
starring
his
roles.
first two or three things he did.
Mhm.
Famously, he did
Okay.
Dazed and Confused. Now, here's the start
Yeah.
of the chaos.
The start of the end. And what girl wouldn't want to be crowned prom queen?
Yeah.
And she's smiling and she's got to be feeling so good about herself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, honestly, this movie, it just breaks my heart. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't even have to be a Stephen King adaptation. This is cruel. It is heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just as a standalone story.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to root for Carrie. You want to say, "Yay, Carrie!"
Mm-hmm.
And there's the mean girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to just punch her,
Yeah.
do a whole lot worse to her.
Yeah.
Yep, and I believe this was in the book too. They actually did. I think it was pig's blood in the
Yeah.
book.
Mm-hmm.
So that bucket must be really well hidden for nobody to see it. I think it's hidden behind the lights.
Yeah, it's up there, but it's one of those where, like, how good is that upper structure there? And it's like, okay, well, it's almost half not on the wood plank there.
Right.
It's braced in the corner, so it's stuck on two sides. Okay, but still, that bucket was mostly full.
Yes. Johnny Devick is saying Pinhead did some bad stuff to a dance club, if I remember. Yes, in, I want to say Hellraiser 3, I think that took place in the nightclub. So, you know what they say about no good deed goes unpunished? Everybody wanted the best for Carrie, and they tried. Tommy tried. Sue tried. They tried to be nice.
Hell if I know. Micro would be excellent. Um, Airframe would be interesting. Or um, can't really do it as so well now. Well, he could, but it would just bomb. Pirate Latitudes would be interesting. His pirate book, or Dragon's Teeth, or Dragon Tooth, whatever it is. That would be more of a biopic hunting, dinosaur bones in the 1800s. But yeah, Micro would be interesting.
Yeah, you guys are having this conversation about where Helifino says, God, where is my next Crichton movie? Man, I want Micro. Um, yeah, I am not familiar with those books, but that's interesting. Maybe they will make one.
Those were his last two or three books around when he died.
Well, there's still a
Yeah.
potential to adapt those.
Oh yeah. It's like, why is the teacher, how, like, why does the teacher look like she knows something?
I was about to say that because she's looking like she knows something. Otherwise, I think she sees Sue, which she's not supposed to be there. But it's now okay. So she knows something's going on. The teacher sees her, and the teacher's only motive was to get you're not supposed to be here. Get out of here. But you should listen that she's yanking Sue, and the next thing out of Sue's mouth is get Carrie out of there. There's a bucket of blood, or there's a whatever, there's something going on. And I'm looking back at my high school years, and it was, they were not the best years of my life, but this would have been worse. This is one of the worst things that you could do to someone.
Yeah.
And this is where it all changes for Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Helifino. The only thing I don't like about this scene is that the evil ones die right along with the virtuous ones, like Tommy and the gym teacher. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you're right. But you could see that everything in Carrie changes.
Mm-hmm.
But she is not going to distinguish between the ones that meant her harm and the ones that were trying to be nice to her.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you notice, a couple of the boys all have that same tux with the ruffles. A lot of them have that, the ruffles and then like the pastel jacket.
Yeah. Which was the style at the time.
Oh, so Mr. Furzel's bringing up a good point. I have always wondered if Tommy is meant to have died from that bucket on the head or just knocked out. I believe
Probably just
it
knocked
was
out, or hitting that. It did hurt anyway.
right. I think in
Is
the book he
the
lives.
well,
I
the
think
the edge of a bucket from that height is gonna hurt. It's not gonna kill you.
right, but it was supposed to just knock him out, and I believe in the book he was able to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I tell you what, there is nothing more wicked in this movie than her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The eyes are everything in this moment, and the split screen, um, absolutely terrifying. And if I'm not mistaken, because I have the volume down and I'm
So do
watching and I'm reading the subtitles. There's not any extra. There's nothing. What am I saying? There's no extra audio in this scene to distract from the absolute terror that's going on.
Yeah. Okay, okay, that is a fire hose. Okay, yeah. So a fire hose will
Yeah.
have a certain amount of oomph behind it to be knocking
Yep. And
people around.
yeah, she's using it to make sure no one gets out.
Now,
Yeah, Johnny Devitt, time to teach him a lesson.
now
Um,
the gym looked a little more full. Maybe it's just the way they're shooting it, but I could have sworn the gym was more full than that
I think so
before.
too, but now what you're seeing are people scattering.
Well, still, there's well, I guess maybe the tables were off to the side, but I'm just looking at the number of people that are getting their asses whooped, as it were, and yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's just one of those that your brain goes, "Wait a minute, there's less people here than there was 30 seconds ago,"
yeah,
which probably is we could get this many stunt people and pay for this many stunt people.
yeah. And so they're trying to take Tommy out,
Hmm.
but I think they actually in the movie it doesn't show him leaving. Yeah, so the teacher's getting it. Didn't deserve it, but Carrie is unhinged. Who made that comment about Johnny Devick says, yeah, she's kind of ginger now and snaps. Yes, absolutely. And Matt mentioned Hell Hath No Fury. Yeah, honestly, and it goes back to what I had said before. She's not distinguishing anything. Everybody is
A target.
a target. Everything in her life.
Hmm.
Oof.
So she torches the gym and leaves. Does she lock the
Yep.
doors behind her? I
And we
can't remember.
didn't see anybody get out.
True.
Well, we
Well,
did actually.
the one friend got out, and the Travolta got out, and so
Yep.
did Nancy Allen.
And here they come. They're still seeking their revenge.
Hmm.
Talk about a mean girl. That is attempted murder, actually.
Hmm.
But, good for Carrie. All you could say to
That's an overcranked camera, but yeah.
yep. Yeah. And they had, yeah, that was just a film trick.
Well, that's one way to make sure they're dead.
So hell if I know, is it the book or the remake that makes the damage extend throughout the whole town? The book actually has her destroying the whole town and a lot more people died. But this, they've just centered it on the school. I think
And the
for
mom.
dramatic purposes, it
Hmm.
makes more sense that she just took out her vengeance on the school.
Hmm. For the scope of this storytelling, the school limiting the destruction makes more sense. If this were a 5 hour miniseries or 4.5 hour miniseries, they could have done more. But
Yeah, exactly. You're spot on, Johnny Devick. This movie is a slow burner, but when it gets started, the last half hour or the last 20 minutes is it's just unstoppable. And she is on fire.
hmm.
But who hasn't wanted to take revenge on people that have done you wrong? You don't want to take innocent people out, but haven't we all felt that way? You just want to take your own vengeance out?
Hmm. This is why movies like John Wick are just cathartic. It's like, oh, you do that to the little doggy? I'm going to do all of this to you.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Swift, Betty Buckley's terror in her death scene was real due to a botched stunt earlier in filming. I bet at this point her mom is assuming, or I think the mom has already heard what happened by the time we see the mom again. I think she already knows what happened.
I'm with you there, Mad Matt. I'm just seeing his post in Discord there.
Most definitely. Oh, good one. Where's the drum roll? Johnny Depp is saying she left because the party died down. And Carrie really hasn't snapped out of it. And I think she's still in that vengeful trance. Yes, Alex Peacock, thank you for that. That drum. That does look like stage blood,
Mm-hmm.
not real pig blood. I believe they used what, Caro syrup and just diluted it down. Yeah, hell if I know. Yeah, something like corn syrup, um, just really sticky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just when you think Carrie's night is over, it's not.
And clearly the mother is a little bit strange, just to be standing behind the bathroom door this whole time.
Yeah, so
It's like, dude, what the hell?
how long has she been there?
Yeah,
And does she know what had gone on in the town?
I doubt it.
Um, or either the mom is responding um, because she knows what Carrie did, because in the book, everybody knew what Carrie did. So it was not us, it wasn't a big surprise, and they didn't spend all this time wondering who did it, what happened. Um, but the mom, I wonder if it's just a reaction to her daughter going to prom, and she thinks that her daughter had slept with this boy, and this is what made the mom flip, or does she know her daughter's a murderer?
Little column A, little column B.
Maybe a little both. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
The mom is just psycho, and it's just all coming out. You're right. The past trauma with her husband, and there's so much shame that she's talking about by having relations with her what, boyfriend turned husband, and she now put that shame on her daughter. So her daughter grew up always feeling that guilt, the shame of what her mom did. This is awful.
Mm-hmm. Because we don't know really how old the mom is. Like, it's not said that she maybe had Carrie when she was 16, 18, 19, 20, whatever it is. And it's just like a 18-year age gap with her and her daughter.
Right.
Or
That's true.
like it could be one of those situations where sometimes that doesn't work out so well
Yep. And
for
now the mom is
various and
going
sundry reasons.
for Soko. Yeah. Oh yeah. This. Ugh, that- Mom. Matt is mentioned. Bath scene with blood. We're full circle from the very first scene to the last, to one of the last. Yes. So the glee on the mom's face makes me think this is what the mom wanted all along. The mom just wanted to get Carrie out of the picture to what, save her from any shame or anything. Oh, it's just it's hard to wrap my head around a mom that does that.
Yeah. Well,
And
certain people are not meant to be parents.
they are not meant to be parents. And yeah, talk about going for a full circle. The way that the mom dies is arms stretched out, just like she's on a cross. Ah, Johnny Devick. Scream 1996 references the corn syrup used in the original Carrie film as a detail from the killer Billy Loomis. He states, corn syrup, same stuff they used for pig's blood in Carrie. Yes, definitely. Edward the Black Prince is pointing out the symbolism,
Yeah.
the joy that the mother had in her death. She was relishing in it
Yeah.
and so happy that what now she can be with her Lord Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
and killed by her daughter.
And I'm just
Well, she
thinking,
tried to
okay,
kill
well,
her.
I know, like, butcher knife in the hand, butcher knife in the hand, some
Yeah,
manner of okay. So it was the knife in the sternum that would have really got her. I was just looking at that one particular kitchen implement in her upper chest, going, "That's not enough to kill you." But seeing the
right.
rest of it, that's enough to kill you.
But then there's a knife in the hand and then a
Knife in the
knife in the
wrist,
wrist.
so
It
that would
wouldn't have
be
been
severing.
enough to
Yeah.
hold her up,
No, but
but it is a good symbolic
yeah,
ending to the mom.
yeah.
Yes, Miss Swift. Now she looks like Saint Sebastian.
Hmm.
Yes. It didn't occur to me. Yes, with all of those implements in her, just like Saint Sebastian. So this is the only part that I wonder about is is Carrie, is this just a byproduct of all of her rage? Is the house is falling down? Or is somehow Carrie doing this? Or is the mom doing it by dying? Is now like the mom somehow psychic?
Well, the mom's dead.
Right,
So
but
are you
is the
saying
mom psychic?
is it the mother's spirit doing this?
That is a very good question. And I, exactly. Calbot is showing the reference to poltergeist. This is the poltergeist feel to it. So I'm
Not done
not
as well
getting,
as Poltergeist, but
yeah. And so
well, it's 10 years
Carrie is,
earlier than Poltergeist, but still,
yeah, so like a couple,
it's about
4 or
ten
5 years.
years before Poltergeist. Give
Yeah.
or take.
Um, Miss Swift, I believe the house is meant to be pelted by fiery meteors. I believe that's how they describe it in the book. But Why? I am curious about that. Yes, the same injuries on the mom or what is on Saint Sebastian. Isn't that funny? I had never noticed that before in the same pattern. Ah,
I would have liked it
oh,
a bit
okay,
better.
guys.
I would have liked it a bit better if Carrie had, Carrie had been the one tearing the house down and didn't hide in the closet and just walked out of the house and watched it fall to the ground.
I know, right? Or something more dramatic.
Hmm.
It just seems to me like her death was almost an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh, that kind of is interesting as to why the house fell down.
Well, looking at its age and relative construction, a stiff breeze would blow that house down. If yeah, I've watched enough This Old House in my day that there was probably dry rot and a bunch of other stuff wrong with that house. So
Yeah, and just a little bit of Carrie's power, her mental might to push the house over.
yeah, well, I thought it was like maybe the bathtub falling in from above the ceiling because the bathtub, the clawfoot bathtub, is in like the upper attic-ish floor of the house. I'm like, okay, I didn't know the
Yeah,
floor was that strong.
but even then, there's a force that actually got that house to collapse in and of
Hmm.
itself. Miss Swift's Seinfeld reference. These are load bearing walls.
Yeah.
Something had to have taken him down. But the ending in the book, with the whole town destroyed, they were able to pinpoint that on Carrie. And there was a whole reference to like telekinesis, psychic ability in kids as being the culprit. And then they kind of trailed off with referencing other kids that were born, which I thought was pretty long winded and wouldn't have made a very good ending to the movie. So I think we are in for a very appropriate ending here.
Yeah, and not having seen Carrie 2, I don't know what the heck happens in it. So
I think you're better off. I don't think we need to waste our time with any sequels to this, anything in the franchise.
leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Yeah. And there we go. Sissy SpaceX, that is her arm coming from the grave. Um, so this is, I think we're seeing Sue in this full blown mental episode.
Hmm. And she's meant to be the lone survivor of the prom, I guess.
Yeah, that's got to be tough to wrap your head around. I get it. Exactly. Mad says cue the fire starter, and Miss Swift said twisted fire starter. Yeah.
Firestarter was a good movie with young Drew Barrymore. Not
Wow,
so
that
much,
was
not so much the remake of the last 5-ish years, or
yeah, yeah,
that was a pandemic-ish release of the new Firestarter, and it no, having seen the Drew Barrymore version, the new one is a waste of everyone's time.
yeah. Um, there's a lot of references to the original Firestarter as being so incredibly bad. But you're right. I don't think it was that bad. I think they had really good material. Drew Barrymore was so young and did the best she could.
Yo, yeah.
Uh, so it was a pretty solid movie. But this man, this an hour and 38 minutes, and it felt like a whole lot longer. Um, so whew, that was a ride. All right, guys, what do you think? What are your last comments? Um, we have another Stephen King next week. What did everybody think about today's? Oh, Helifino says it felt full. Yeah,
Yeah, like any longer and it would have been dragging.
yeah,
Any shorter, it wouldn't have had enough plot.
yeah. Edward the Black Prince is saying that remake was ass. So let's not bother with the sequels. Let's not bother with any of it. Johnny Devick's words of wisdom is to skip the prom. Or if you have a classmate named Carrie White who looks a little bit like Sissy Spacek, then you might want to stay clear. Yes. Miss Swift, often imitated, never duplicated. The story of the life of a franchise, and they need to stop the franchises.
Yep.
Um,
Have an
so
original idea.
yeah, this was very original at its time, and
Mhm.
Stephen King is really good at making original stories, telling a good story, and using those horror elements spliced into the life of suburbia, the life of small town America, of normal people, and just introducing that evil little
Mhm.
twist. Um, and so Mr. Furzel is saying good flick, good message, good ending.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Great, solid movie. Um, and next week, we're going to be doing another pretty solid movie, The Mist from 2007, which
The
is
Mist.
based on a short story
Mhm.
of Stephen King's of the same name.
Mhm.
Um, and so they turned it into a pretty half decent movie. Um, Edward the Black Prince is saying 2015 to 2020s have no identity outside of franchises. Yeah. And
Pretty
Johnny
much.
Depp.
Yeah.
Yep. Johnny Devick is saying yes, good, but a bit sad. Yes, it was. Um,
The Mist,
yeah.
not to be confused with The Fog.
Uh,
Different,
yes, we could talk about that.
other than the name, but yeah.
Other than the name, I don't think it had many of the same elements as the original.
Mm.
Um, oh, Miss Swift is saying I'm off to finish the last episode of the Institute, limited Stephen King based series based on his book.
Yep.
Very good. I'm interested to
That's
see how
supposed to
you
be
like it
good.
next week.
The Institute was good. The Outsider was another good one, based
Yeah.
limited series based on the book. Yeah.
Yep, that was several years back, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think that was like Jason Bateman's the bad guy. I think something like that,
Oh, there you go. I got to
or
catch up on some of.
or a Jason Bateman type.
Nice. A lot of Stephen King adaptations I need to catch up on. So next week we're going to be doing The Mist. Should be readily available in your area. If not,
Mhm.
reach out to me and we'll see if we can't get it for you.
Have you
Um,
got a September October schedule yet?
yes, I have September. After The Mist, the last 2 weeks of September, we're going to be doing It from 1990, the TV miniseries.
Okay.
We're going
Yeah.
to
Both.
break it up into two parts.
Yep.
Um, and I know, I think the VHS or DVD copies of it, they break it into two chapters, but
Hmm.
some streaming services will lump it all together as one long movie, but we are going to break them up. And October, I'm still working on it because that's a good Halloween month. Um, I do want to mention I am going to be doing something a little extra in October. I am adding an extra watch party on one of the Saturdays, maybe the one right before the 26th of October. I really want to do the movie Threads, and I want to do that by the end of the year. But it is such a
Downer.
heavy movie that I don't want to do it on a Sunday.
Lead
Um,
into the week. Yep.
yeah, so I want to do. So I'm going to be doing it in like on a Saturday in October, even though I was going to try to do it in September because it was released in September in the UK. So that would have been a good month to bring it in, but I'm going to push it out to October. So stay tuned for that. When I get October schedule finalized, then I'll let you guys all know what Saturday. Um, so yeah, I have been meaning to do Threads, and I know we have this. A large number of you want to see it. Some of you don't. So then, you feel free to not join us for that. That is totally fine. Um, but yeah, there you have it. So we are in for more Stephen King treats this month before we get into October. So I appreciate you all joining me today. I appreciate Alex, you being here today.
Anytime.
Um, any last words?
No, just this was fun. I hadn't ever watched it really all the way through. It's one of those I might end up rewatching it again at some point, but it won't be necessarily appointment viewing for me. But that's fine. I have other appointment viewing things to watch. Uh,
There
but yeah, no, the mist
is
next
plenty
week
to
should be interesting. But there's too many movies to count that and I've moved past the oh well, these are movies you should see. No, watch what
Yeah.
you want. It's like
Watch what you want.
it's like
Absolutely.
it's like in theory, should you at some point see Casablanca? Maybe, maybe.
If it's not your shtick,
If it's not
then
the
don't see
genre you
it.
like, sure,
Right.
like dip your toe in other pools. But if you don't like it, don't keep watching it.
Exactly.
Watch something else. There's other things you can do with your life than watch a movie you're not interested in.
Yeah, exactly. And time is short. Life is
Hmm.
short. Life is too short to waste it on movies you really don't want to see.
Yeah.
So watch what you love, guys.
Yep.
And we'll be doing this again next week with another Stephen King movie.
Yep.
So thank you all for joining us today. It has been my pleasure. Be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, gang.
Bye.